Good morning, Rabbi Sai. Kesubos Daf Yomi. Today, we're going to be discussing Musagim in Shas, the concepts of Shiabuda de Reb Nosson, a shtar amana. What does a Magda mean? To be mois Magda, shtar pasim. The Gemara tells us that according to Meir, if someone comes forward and admits that this shtar that says that he owes money is a good shtar, but he paid it back, we believe him on the first part. We believe him that it's a good shtar, and you don't need to aid him to be mekayim it. So therefore, if a loiva says, I admit that this shtar is a good shtar, Adim can't come ahead and say, it's a puzzle shtar, we signed it, we were under duress, somebody put a gun to our head. Why? Because we don't need these Adim anymore. We already have the testimony of the loiva himself, the borrower. And that's how Rav Paskin. But Rav Nachman says that the loiva is not believed, and you have to be mekayim the shtar. If somebody says, this is a shtar amana, what does it mean? It means that he wrote the shtar, the Edom signed the shtar, but he never got a loan. He gave it to the malva for future use. Rashi explains on Amud Beis, sometimes people would do that because they want to use the shtar, they want to give the collateral to the lender, and the lender is not ready to give the loan, so they write the shtar, they pre-write it. He's not believed. Why? Now, who's not believed? The Gemara gives us three possibilities who's not believed. Now, it could be the loiva himself, the borrower. And the chiddush would be like Rav. Rav says that if a loiva comes forward and says, this is a good shtar, you don't have to be mekayim the shtar. And that's the chiddush. We don't trust it. Or it's the malva. Now, the malva says, this is not a good shtar. Typically speaking, he's doing a mitzvah, tavei olav bracha. But over here we're talking about when the malva says it's not a good shtar, he's actually hurting somebody else. Because if this malva owes money to someone else, then there's a concept called shibuda de Reb Nosson. If Reuven owes money to Shimon, and Shimon owes money to Levi, so Levi could go directly to Reuven and cut out the middleman. So therefore, this malva has no right to forgive the loan because he owes money to somebody else. Or the third pshat is, it's the Eidim that are not believed that this is a shtar amana, because the Eidim, by saying that they signed on a shtar, that there was no money lent, they're making themselves Rishayim, and a person cannot make himself a Rasha. Rasha. There's an Isser to have a shtar amana in your house. It's also to have a shtar pasim in your house. What's a shtar pasim? A fake shtar that he shows people, look how wealthy I am, people owe me money. All these shtares, a terrible thing could come out of them. You could use it against somebody when you never lent money, etc. And some people say, even a shtar parua, that is, a shtar that the loiva paid back, and the only reason why you have it in your possession is because you're using it as collateral, but you want the loiva to pay up the cipher, the ink, the paper, etc. So we have this idea that you're not allowed to have in your house an avla, something wrong could come out of it, and that's why the Eidim who sign such a shtar, they're over Isser, they're Rishayim. With the same halacha, we can learn that you're not allowed to have a Sefer Torah, Tanakh, Torah, Nevi'im, Ksuvim, Shtarais, that have a psul in it. One day, somebody won't know, your kid will come, open up the Sefer Torah and use it. Today, days and age, it's not just a Sefer Torah. All Svarim that have mistakes in them, you shouldn't have around in your house for more than 31 days. There's a concept called Magda. Magda is if somebody asks Adam to sign a shtar, and he whispers to them, he says, listen, I'm under duress. The guy is holding a gun to me. I don't want to sign this. I want you to sign, but you should know later, right after we come out of here, you're going to tell everybody that was fake. So according to Marbar Ravashi, the Edom are believed because now they're not being Rishayim. They're just helping a guy get out of his terrible predicament. And therefore, they have Ne'emanos. According to Rav Nachman, they're not Ne'eman. Why? Because they're uprooting a shtar. And anytime you uproot a shtar, you're not believed. But what if it's similar to Moidah, but not really. What if there's a condition to the shtar? The Eidim testify, we sign on the shtar, but there's a side condition not brought in the shtar that the loiva must keep, and he didn't keep it, let's say. So the halacha is that even one aid could testify that there was a t'nai, and by doing so, he ruins the entire shtar. And the reason is because this is a separate testimony to the shtar. It's an addendum to the shtar. It's not part of the shtar, and therefore they are believed. Have a wonderful day.